continues to be Awesome Tuesday with fantastic literature. We're sitting with Audrey Chilenje this morning, and we will be discussing the book Moments of Light by Aretha Maniwa. Good morning to you.
Good morning, Maurice. How are you today?
Very well, thank you, Audrey. Okay, so we're holding this book up, and it says, "Where darkness fades, light reveals." Right? Can you tell us a little bit more about what this book is about?
Okay, so this book by Aretha Maniwa, it's about how people go through things, and then at their lowest, they just, when they're crying out to God, they just write a book. So in this book, she talks about Moments of Light is a masterpiece written as a true account of the life experiences, challenges, and faith journey encountered by this young lady. It talks about loss, chronic illness, coming back home from the diaspora, and how she dealt with loss and rejection and severe depression.
Wow. I think that is a lot of, key words there that people are experiencing. Lots of depression, loss, and, just hurt throughout. So, I mean, this book is motivated by her place of being hurt.
Yes.
I understand.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And her place of now realizing that, there is more to life than all these things that we go through. And with all that, she decided to write a book and inspire the next person out there, which is very commendable.
That is very good. What are some of the lessons that we draw out of this book?
Okay, she talks about change, just looking at her life, having gone to the diaspora, and you adjust to the life there, then you have to come back here, and then you also have to adjust. And she's very honest about coming back here with almost nothing. The perception we have out there that someone who goes out there is going to come back with a lot of money and all that. She's very honest and says she came back with nothing. And she had to restart again. Talks about redemption, character refinement, and then she talks about parenting, healing, and dealing with the beast of childhood traumas. This is also a very critical one, which I found. Childhood traumas, very real, but most people don't want to talk about this subject for obvious reasons.
So do you know, one thing that I found about childhood trauma, Audrey, is even when you've been in a place of pain, like she's got a story, and I mean, I could say, or I've gone through a heartbreak or whatever it is, but that moment where I'm experiencing the pain of that loss of that relationship, it's also a moment for me to look back at the traumas, the triggers, some of the things that really get to hurt me. And I think that's a time where God, if you believe in God, that's where God actually shows you, like, hey, Marissa, this is what you look like. And it's an opportunity to change. And some people also say, oh, it's such cliche, these books written, there's scriptures. I mean, if I want to open my Bible, I'll open my Bible. Why do I need to read the scripture in this book? But I'd love to hear your view about what some people say about that point.
So you're very right to say that. People just think, oh, it's the usual cliche. But trust me, like you rightly said initially, everyone is going through something. That's why we're always encouraged to be kind to the next person. And so I know this story might relate to Aretha, but so many people, like even the childhood traumas that I was talking about, so many people go through that, and it shapes them into who they become as adults. Some people are just irritable. Some people are just distant. They don't want to talk to other people. And maybe it's because when they were little, they could never go to a parent and adult and share what they were thinking. They were always either beaten or shouted at or sent away. And it shapes the people that they become later on.
Later on in life, eh? She also touches about parenting in this book. And she highlighted the fact that she met somebody, a parent, who was saying that they're tired of their son.
100%. And, for me, that discussion was even very vulnerable. People are going through the most. And for a parent to say, I'm tired of my son. This son was stealing money, stealing things and selling them and doing so much more. And in this discussion, this person turned to Aretha and said, you can't tell me about parenting because you don't have a child. She doesn't have a child. But guess what? It doesn't mean that if someone doesn't have a child, they don't know anything. For example, if you look in the Bible, the story of Joseph and his brothers, there's a very clear example of sibling rivalry, like what I was saying we don't want to talk about. He's favored by the dad. He has dreams. He shares with his siblings. And the elder ones are like, what do you know?
You're younger than us,
Exactly. And they actually end up selling him. This is the highest form of sibling rivalry that I've ever seen. So I think it doesn't mean that if someone doesn't have a child or someone is not married or anything, they don't have anything to say. People can always get revelation, whether it's from society, it's from books, it's from TV even. Yeah, and
I like that. I like that people can always get revelation. Something is always revealed to you, and you are right in saying that I don't have to be married to be able to kind of speak to you or help you in your marriage or whatever it is. So you are correct in saying that, and I do know that she has a lot of topics. This lady here. Where is she based?
She's now based here in Zim, and if you just look at her profile, she's a sociologist who's passionate about social phenomena. She's into ministry and an evangelist, and currently in Bible school. Yeah, she loves community work, and someday dreams of opening an orphanage. Messenger of Hope Foundation. And you can just look from what she's gone through, and even just looking at her profile, and what she's now trying to do, that she's
to help
other people.
Yeah, I guess I've always said this. I said this again in another interview I had, that there's always a purpose in the pain that we go through. It's unfortunate and uncomfortable that we have to go through that pain, but once you tap into why did I go through this, your purpose can actually unravel and come out of that. So I mean, I'm proud of her. She's brave.
Very brave.
She's brave.
And I like her quote from the book. She says, if God can't shake you, he can't use you. And it just taps into what you were saying about the why. Why do you get up every day to go to work? Why? What's your why? Is it providing for your family? Is it about belonging on social media? What is the why?
Yeah.
And most importantly, if your why is very strong, that's how come you can outlast any persecution.
Yeah. That is very, very good. How much is this book?
This book is $10. Chete Chete, released on the 25th of August, so still very new.
Still very new, yeah.
Still very new. And for now, you can get a copy from the book if you contact her direct. She's on social media, Aretha Maniwa, LinkedIn, Instagram, and her phone number is 0779 398 551. I'll repeat, 0779 398 551, and you can get yourself a copy.
Huh?
Yes.
No, it's very, very good. I mean, she does have a lot to say, and it's not like long. I'm just looking at her chapters. They're not long. They've got the scripture, but it's not like long into trying to unpack. It's simple.
Very simple, very
simple,
light read.
Very light read as well. So this is a book that is quite interesting to hear how we can navigate and get out of the dark spaces in our lives. But yeah, thanks so much, Audrey, for joining us and giving us a little bit of a tidbit on this book.
Thank you, Marisa. Always a pleasure
Always
being
a
here and
pleasure.
talking about books.
Absolutely.